Hello. I had never imagined to be in a place like this. I'm 59. I've never sat up in front of a crowd in my entire life. But today, I made the effort because acquired brain injury has given me a new life. And I had an accident 11 years ago and has totally changed my life, and I think for the better.
Can you tell us a little bit about your brain injury, Paul, about how you acquired your brain injury?
I was working on a site in Bray and I only fell 8 feet with a helmet on and hit a wooden deck. And my brain reverberated in my skull and I had 3 lacerations to my brain.
And Paul, I know when we spoke, one of the impacts of your brain injury that you told me about is that you can find it hard to remember things.
My short-term memory is badly affected.
And are there other impacts that you've noticed in yourself since your brain injury?
I think I've changed, to be honest with you. But I think I've changed to be a better person. And I think the new me is a better me.
Wow.
The old me worked too hard, gave too much. And the new me is more selfish, but he loves himself. So I'm happy as anything, and I'm living life better than I've ever lived life before. And acquired brain injury has helped me along the way immensely. And they have been a very good service to me and lots of other people. So I'm happy.
Paul, one of your famous quotes that I love hearing you say is that you don't know if you found art or if art found you.
I actually don't know, I'm being honest about it. I love art, and I was in Amsterdam 2 years prior to my accident. I never went to one museum.
Wow.
Now I go to Amsterdam, I go to all the museums, I've travelled the world now to all the museums, and I have a great life. I just can't get enough of life. Every day is a new day. It's like being reborn again, and the day isn't long enough for me. I've never been fed up for as much as 1 millisecond. I'm living the dream.
And when I met Paul before today, it's interesting what you say about the day being long enough, because Paul told me that he can find himself up as late as 3 o'clock in the morning painting. How did you start getting into art? Because you didn't practice art before your brain injury, is that correct?
That is correct. I hated art, to be honest, and history, 2 subjects I totally. And now I can't get enough of them, being honest. But when I was lying in the rehabilitation bed in the NRH, there was a little small window, and there was a boy who used to come in once a week, and I spent 3 months in that. And he used to go in and practice or teach people to do art in the National Rehabilitation Hospital. Well, only one person, maybe once every 2 weeks, could go into him. And they told me I was leaving in a week, so I said, this poor man's in here on his own. And I'll go into him for the last week, but they kept me for another 3 weeks. That's how I started out. And he was a lovely man. He actually lives up in Shankill. I'm trying to remember his name. My short-term memory is bad. But he was in his 70s, but he gave his time voluntary to the National Rehabilitation Hospital. So he was there every week. He was actually in ABI every week until COVID. And COVID destroyed a lot of things.
What did it feel like for you, Paul, when you started practicing art? How did it make you feel?
It takes you to another. It's like a drug. It takes you to another place. And I do paint till 3 in the morning. I just can't get enough of it. And when I'm looking like this, the eyes start to close. And when I get double vision, I know it's time to go to bed. I have damaged the optical nerves in the brain. I've 2 lacerations there and one on the back of the optical nerve. So I get double vision if I get tired. So that is one of the things. So when I get tired and I see double vision, time to go to bed. That's the only reason I stop.
We see some of your artwork here, and this is just a small selection. I know you're seeing some more on the screen, and there's lots more of Paul's art in the side-by-side Clubhouse in Dun Laoghaire and in your own home, Paul. and you brought an enormous amount of life to those places through your work. How has being involved in something creative, do you think, how has that been positive for you and for the people around you?
Well, when you wake up and you want to paint, it just, your day goes like, I don't know how to explain this. Your day just goes like, when you sit down to paint, your day is immersed in art. You think of all the famous artists, Cezanne. I like all the older ones, back in the 1800s. And you think of the time that they lived in, how difficult it was to acquire canvas and paint. Now we just go to a shop and you have everything like that. Art is a lot easier to get now, and we're so lucky to have so many forums to display our art. Like I to get to display my art in Wicklow Town. The council put on a display once a year in Wicklow Town, and you get to put your art on the railings. And when you see your art on the railings, you feel totally happy, and you feel proud of yourself, to be honest with you, that you've achieved something that you hate when you were a child, and now you love it. And you admire all older artists. Like when I go abroad, all I want to see is art. So art lifts me up and takes me to a new place, a place that I love to be honest with you. So I'm very lucky, I think, to be involved in art. A thing that I totally hated as a child, but as I said, I love my new life and lifestyle. It's brilliant, in my opinion. I'm happy. And I can't say any more than that. It's just, the brain injury for me was a plus in my, the way I think of life. I worked too hard, I gave too much. Now I'm relaxed. I live life to the max, all day, every day. I travel at the drop of a hat. Some mornings I can wake up and find myself at lunchtime having lunch with my friends in Castleblayney, and I get public transport, train, Lewis, and a bus to Castleblayney's, and I'm up there and then I meet my friends up there and I end up there for 2 days. I'm very lucky, I have good people who get the key of the house, and I have a dog called Jessie, who I bought for my daughter when I came out of hospital, which is nearly 12 years old. And that is good mentally for you, because it helps rejuvenate your brain. You have to get up and feed up in the mornings, you have to let it out, you have to, small simple things. Plants are another thing, you have to water them. When I have plants alive now 5 years, I spent 7 years of my brain injury on medication, and I wasn't able to carry a cup from there to there without spilling it. And when I gave up the medication, I can carry 5 pints of Guinness now.
That's interesting what you say, Paul, about being able to, having, so your plants are alive much longer than my plants have ever been alive. And I guess is it routine? Is it having routine, having things to remember every day? Does that support you? That
does support you. Get up in the morning, have to feed the dog, let it out, to water plants. Take small, significant little things, but they all energise the